What's up, guys? I'm BTC. We got a dev update coming, new event, and you can try the Overwatch League All Access Pass for free. First up, if you're a fan of the Overwatch League, you can try the All Access Pass for free later on today. This is a special dashboard that allows you to view the game from any of the player perspectives, which is really cool if you have a favorite player or if you just want to learn what the DPS or what the supports are doing or whatever, then you can use this. Now, the only downside about this is that it only works when the broadcast is live. So if you try to go back and watch the older games, then you don't get to see this special dashboard. You have to watch just the general broadcast view that they normally would put out there. But if you are a big fan of the Overwatch League and you watch them while they're live, this definitely seems like it's worth it. Now, this brings up two things. One, what happened to the World Cup viewer? I'll get to that when I talk about the dev update. And the second is a conversation I had the other day. Someone asked me who my favorite league team was, and I said I don't have one because I don't watch it. Which is kind of weird because I really enjoy esports. I love to watch CSGO pro matches and Dota and Street Fighter and that sort of stuff. But for the Overwatch League, I just don't find it all that interesting, which is one of the reasons why I don't make a lot of Overwatch League videos on this channel, because a lot of other people don't seem to find it all that interesting either. Now, yes, there's the obvious thing of GOATS comp in every single match. There is a little bit of variety, but that's usually a map-dependent hero switch as opposed to, oh, GOATS is going away kind of deal. It's like, no, this one hero is just so good at this map that you pretty much just run him all the time, in addition to some variant of GOATS. The other thing is that I don't know, I just find the whole broadcast to be kind of, I don't know, stale, I suppose. The thing is, you have these skits that they like to run, like this right here. Blizzard, this is not funny, this is not entertaining, this is just cringe. I don't want to see that. You know what I like to see? When Dafran was giving his interview, and he went completely off script because he later admitted that it was supposed to be a scripted interview, and he just didn't even go on the script, and he just made up some stuff, and he talked about Twitch Prime and popping off and that sort of stuff, and it was funny, and people liked it. That's what we need. We need more of that kind of spontaneous, genuine humor, as opposed to this. This is just, like, this is cringe, Blizz. I don't want to see that. Moving on, the Archive event is coming up really soon. Now, we didn't get any teasers this week, so it's extremely unlikely that we're going to get the event next week, unless they just kind of drop everything in a really big mad dash, but I don't think that's going to happen. We did have a leak on the official website that showed that the 16th of April is when the event is going to start. So what's probably going to happen is maybe next Monday or Tuesday we might have a small teaser, and then Wednesday we probably would get the full comic, because that's something that they've been doing for the previous Archive events. They drop an entire comic that kind of tells some of the story, and that always happens the Wednesday of the week before the event. So that would be next Wednesday, which is the 10th, and then we might get a couple more teasers, and then the full event starts on the 16th. Now, I've already gone through all of my other predictions on what I think the event is going to be, who I think is going to get the legendary skins, and all that sort of stuff. If you want to check that out, I'll put a link down below. You can go and watch that after you're done this. But it is almost certain that we're going to get those event teasers starting next week. Next is the developer updates, or the lack of developer updates. We used to get these on a fairly regular basis, and Blizzard just hasn't been putting them out recently. Jeff Kaplan responded on the forum saying that, sorry, we haven't been doing these as frequently. We do have more planned for this year. We recorded one last week, and it will go live next week. Now, that's going to coincide with the teasers for the Archives event, so it's very likely he's going to talk a little bit about the Archive event and what their plans are for that sort of game mode, because obviously it takes a great deal of effort and time in order to make something like Uprising or Retribution. Now, he's talked about this a little bit in the past, about how the more they do it, the easier and easier it becomes, because when they first started, they really didn't have any computer AI. It was incredibly bad. And as they started to do the Uprising event, they got it a little bit better. The Retribution event, it got even better. So a lot of that stuff, like the pathing and all these different things that you wouldn't normally need to have, because Overwatch is a multiplayer game. You don't really have bots. I mean, there is an against AI mode, but it's really bad, let's be honest. So they've been improving it as they go, and it's now becoming easier for them to make these new game modes. So he's probably going to talk a little bit about that. He might touch on Baptiste and him being added to competitive and the effect on goats and stuff, but he kind of already talked about that a little bit, so I don't think he's going to talk too much on it. But another thing that we've been waiting for is the big social update, because we were supposed to get 3 things last year. The first thing was endorsements, second was looking for group, and the third thing was supposed to arrive sometime in the fall, but we never got any information on it at all. Just that Blizzard said it was taking a lot longer than expected and it was going to be pushed back a bit. However, we did get the World Cup viewer, and we got a bunch of information about that. So we got to use it during BlizzCon in order to watch the World Cup matches, and it's actually a really awesome tool, and I can't wait for them to add it to the game. They also talked about how it's not just going to be for the Overwatch League or the World Cup. You're going to be able to record your own games and send them to friends and all that sort of stuff, so there's all kinds of cool possibilities with that. And that is definitely something that's going to be arriving hopefully soon, but that's not the big social update. That's something completely different. So what is this other social update? Well, that's something that he could be talking about in this developer update that we're going to get, and he might finally tell us. Now, originally I thought it was going to be guilds, but they said that they don't want to just add guilds to Overwatch. They want to have it be a BattleNet-wide thing. So I'm kind of leaning towards something other than guilds. But I think the developer update is probably going to arrive next Wednesday alongside the comic. So they'll drop the comic, and then they'll immediately drop the developer update right alongside it. And Jeff Kaplan will talk about what the event's going to be and what kind of story and that sort of stuff. And then he might also mention the World Cup viewer or that social update as well. So that's kind of the timeline that I'm expecting. So that's the news roundup. What do you guys think the next event is going to be? What do you think Jeff Kaplan is going to talk about in that developer update? Let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller, because it's never your fault.